over the weekend, over the weekdays, we saw the finals of the under-20 secondary school ball games, national championship climaxing, and of course, who is the winner? Who is the overall winner? Someone, of course, outside there will want to know from me. And also, Western Regional League coming to an end the other weekend, and FUFA Big League still continuing. And we're only left with very few games for the climax of the season, not forgetting about Start Times Uganda Premier League, and also in Europe, starting with the Africans' favorite league, that's English Premier League, German Bundesliga, Italian Serie A, French League 1, Dutch Eredivisie, Portuguese Primera Division, not forgetting about Italian Serie A. These leagues, of course, they are their evenings. And I want us to start with how things have been happening as far as the national championship for under-20 secondary school ball games are concerned. And we did have representatives from Western region, the likes of Mvarasine Secondary School. You talk about schools like Moyo Star. By the way, unfortunately, we only had 2 representatives from Western region in boys category. That was Mvarasine Secondary School and Moyo Star Senior Secondary School. That means the runners up at the regional level, that's Komponi College from Majuma, didn't make the trip. Meanwhile, in girls sector, we had a school in the names of Francis Ayume Senior Secondary School, not forgetting about Moyo Star Senior Secondary School. So that's how the flag of Western region was represented as far as the national championship was concerned. And that's not the point of discussion. The point of discussion is all about who is the overall winner. I want to confirm to you, without wasting any second, it has gone into the hands of Budo Senior Secondary School after edging out St. Mary's Tende Boarding Senior Secondary School in the finals. The full time of the encounter ended in a barren draw, that means 0-0. And it ended 6-5 in the Penasut House to see that the gong goes into the hands of a school in the names of Budo Senior Secondary School. Budo Senior Secondary School is one of the giant schools we have in the country academically, and also in co-curricular activities. And in one of the co-curricular activities, sports, in sports, they are also doing very well. That's why they have emerged as the champions. Being the champions is not by luck, it's not by mistake. They are always known of doing it. Of late, we are seeing schools like Budo, St. Mary's Tender Boarding Senior Secondary School, Tibuli Senior Secondary School, Ginger Progressive. You mentioned schools like Musi College. These are the schools that are always making headlines when it comes to the national championship for secondary schools. And it has ended. This game has been for 1 week and some days. It finally climaxed on Wednesday, where, as I said, it has gone into the hands of Budo Senior Secondary School. After here, the focus, of course, will turn to the regional competition. That's for the East African countries, which are Kenya. You talk about Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, not forgetting about Uganda itself. Leaving that one there. Let's also take a look at how the trends have been in Western Regional League. As I had said, the games have ended. Now what's remaining is actually the playoffs position for the Regional League. And from the side of Nelson, it has gone into the hands of Odamachako Sendul Football Club. Meanwhile, from Unyagaki Zone, we have seen a team in the names of Nebi Central emerging as the champions. That means to find one successful representative from the side of Western region, the two sides, of course, are going to meet between themselves. This time, the playoffs finals will not be taking place in Arua City, the famous ground known for it. That's Ababet Krulai Stadium of Onduparaka. This time it has been shifted to Alu region. This time I love the way how it's done, not only being dominated by Arua City. Sometimes, of course, it has to be rotational. Like if they take it to Madi sub-region, they have to come a year, they have to take it to that Alu region, and also they will have to also sometimes make the games to be played within the city center, I should say Lugbara region, because Arua City, some of the districts that are surrounding Arua City, of course I will actually generate a new term for them. That's Lugbara region. In the recent years, these games, of course, have been played in the Lugbara region. And this time around, it has been taken to Aru region, and it's going to be taking place in Zombo, also in one of the famous pitches we have in the region. I am talking about Barokoro playing grounds. Do we have stadiums here in West Nile? No, I don't think. What we have in here are playing grounds. Recently, as I had said, they have been taking place here at Ababet playing grounds. This time, it has been taken to Barokoro, the own playing grounds for the team of Paida Black Angels. And when, of course, this game is going to be played, this game is going to take place on, let me say, next week, of course, on Sunday, 25th of this particular month, and the kickoff time shall be at 3 p.m. So that's where you will see the clash between Odamataku Central Football Club and Nebi Central Football Club. One team that will win, of course, will face the winner from Northern Region to see that the whole of Northern Region sends one representative in FUFA Big League come next season. So we are waiting to see. In case it will go into the hands of Nebi Central, it's okay. In case Odamataku Central will emerge as the successful team, it's also okay. But what matters most is, can they be able to surpass the other team that is going to come from Northern Region? Let's leave that one there. And we talk about Bet Power FUFA Big League. And the league is almost climaxing. And teams from West Nile region, some of them are doing well, some of them are not doing well. You look at the gong right now. Teams like Paida Black Angels, you talk about Calvary, they are moving neck to neck. Like at the moment, the team of Calvary is sitting at number 4. Meanwhile, the team in the names of Paida Black Angels is sitting at number 5. They still have the chance of occupying the promotional slots as far as the league is concerned. So we are waiting to see if they continue with the spirit of winning games back to back. That means there is a very big chance we may either send one representative from Western region in StarTimes Uganda Premier League next season. We may even be in position to send both of them. It will depend on how they will perform in the upcoming fixtures, and also it will depend on how the teams that are right now occupying the top 3 are performing. But you look at Onduparaka, right now at the moment, they don't have any chance of qualifying for StarTimes Uganda Premier League next season. Rather, what they are fighting for at the moment is relegation. They need to see that they win some games that are coming ahead of them to see that they avoid relegation. The same thing with the Arua Hill Sports Club. Yes, Arua Hill, I should say West Nile and Gulu. Whereas Arua City and Gulu City, they still share the status of Arua Hill Sports Club, because Matthias Arua Hill Sports Club has been moved from Arua City status to Gulu City status, but still the name Arua features. That means it's still a piece of meat being shared by 2 great men. That's Gulu City and Arua City. For Arua Hill Sports Club, they are also fighting for relegation, but as I speak right now, they are out of relegation zone. They are in a safer position at the moment, but also it will depend on how they will perform in the upcoming games for them to avoid relegation. And the same thing, as I said earlier on, applies to the team of Onduparaka Football Club. That is the latest update I can give you as far as the ongoing Bet Power FUFA Big League is concerned. At the moment, teams that are doing well are teams like Gaddafi, Blacks Powers. These are the teams that are doing very well. Let's leave that one there. And we also take a look at what is trending in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. It's also going up to the wire, neck to neck, between the team of Sports Club Vipers and the team of NEC. Right now, you look at the table standing. The team which is leading the table is the team in the names of Sports Club Vipers. They are having 68 points, being followed keenly by the team of NEC. NEC is having something of around 64 points. That means the team of NEC is trailing Vipers by 4 points. The teams like KCA, Bolo, I don't think they are matching to the competition. Theirs is just to see that they finish in a better position. And also, you look at the performance of the top 2 teams, it seems these are the teams that are going to represent Uganda when it will come to continental football. I'm talking about CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup, because In Uganda League, only one slot is given for CAF Champions League. That means the overall winners, and also one slot shall be given to the team that will emerge as the runners-up. But at the moment, you look at the statistics, you look at the points gap, it seems it will be either either Vipers or Esnek will win the gong, and also one of them, of course, will finish as the runners up. But still, there is a chance for the other teams. Remember, the cup winners also having chance to play in the CAF Confederations Cup. But you look at the teams that have already been relegated. Soltino Bright Stars of Nelson Sekatuka, after having several seasons in StarTimes Uganda Premier League, finally this season they are going to Bet Power FUFA Big League. I mean officially they have been relegated. Remember the team Soltino Bright Stars, they were actually together with the teams like Ondo Paraka Football Club, Tsirinya Jinja SS, but now things final are not working for them. Officially they are coming back. Not forgetting about Mbale Heroes. Mbale Heroes is also another side that has already been relegated, but a team in the names of Wakiso Giants, the chances for them to survive is only, I should say, now 5%. The battle is remaining between the team of Wakiso Giants and Mbara City, but I should say even 99.9% the team of Wakiso Giants is also relegated. Let's leave that one there. We balance the time and let's go to Europe and we take a look at what is happening. And of course, two big encounters are coming tonight. Remember, before I give you the fixtures, two teams, they have something to fight for. That's Chelsea and Aston Villa, the actual fighting for top 5. Meanwhile, their opponents, Spurs and Manchester United, they have nothing to fight for. They are playing the game for prestige, rather preparing for the UEFA Europa League final, which is coming next week. Ironically and interestingly, these are the teams that are going to appear in the finals of the UEFA Europa League come next week. Spurs up against Aston Villa. Spurs is one of the representatives of the final. And Manchester United up against Chelsea, also one of the representatives of the UEFA Europa League final. And here are the fixtures. Aston Villa up against Spurs, and this game will be at 9:30. After that, after some 45 minutes, at a quarter past the hour of 10 p.m. is when you will see Chelsea hosting Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Now the question remains, Aston Villa, Chelsea, they are fighting for top 5. But at the moment, Chelsea is the team that is occupying the 5th position. Aston Villa is at number 6, but both teams are all having 63 points. But it is the superior goal difference the team of Chelsea is possessing that is making them to sit ahead of Aston Villa. Meanwhile, Spurs and Manchester United, the good thing is the teams that are going to championship last season, that are going to championship next season, they have already been confirmed. The only thing remaining for them is to see that they finish in a better position. So we are waiting to see how things will happen in today's encounters, as both teams are also preparing for the finals of the UEFA Europa League come next week. And looking at the other games that are coming tomorrow, remember some of the seasons we have in Europe, the actual climaxing tomorrow. One of it is German Bundesliga. But in German Bundesliga, the overall winners, of course, have been confirmed. It has gone into the hands of the Bavarians. That's Bayern Munich for you. They were crowned as the champions the other week. That's Bayern Munich for you. That means they will only be playing tomorrow's game for prestige, just honoring. But the battle for top 4 still continues amid these teams like Freiburg, not forgetting about Dortmund. The other two teams, they have already finished in top 4 in the German Bundesliga. That's Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen. Now Freiburg, you talk about Stuttgart, not forgetting about Dortmund. They are battling to see that they finish in top 4. Quickly taking a look at the games. The final games of the season come tomorrow in the German Bundesliga. All these games are set to commence at 4:30 Augsburg will be having a date with Union Berlin. Meanwhile, for Holstein Kiel, they will travel to Stadio Westfalenstadion to take on Borussia Dortmund. Mönchengladbach is having a date with Wolfsburg. Meanwhile, Werder Bremen is traveling away to Heidenheim. For Freiburg, they are having a very big encounter up against Eintracht Frankfurt, with Bayern Munich traveling away to Hoffenheim. Meanwhile, for Mainz 05, they will have a date with Bayer Leverkusen. For Stuttgart, they will test the hostility of RB Leipzig, and the last game is actually between St. Pauli up against Bochum. And then tomorrow in Italian Serie A, Genoa will have a date with Atalanta. Let me speak something little about Italian Serie A. It's also very tight, both from the race of winning the title and also the European slots. Right from the Champions League, you start from the title race, going to the Champions League slot race. Not forgetting about UEFA Europa League and Europa Conference. In Italian Serie A, the race is still open. Right now, you look at the table standing. The team of Napoli is leading the log, just a point ahead of Inter Milan. Inter Milan is having 77 points. Meanwhile, the team of Napoli is sitting on top with 78 points. And also looking at the other teams that are sitting in European slots position, teams like Juventus, teams like AS Roma, teams like Atalanta, they are still fighting. Atalanta, for them, the business is done for them. They are sitting at number 3. They have already qualified. But teams like Juventus, teams like AS Roma, Lazio, Roma, Fiorentina, they are still fighting to see that they play in UEFA Champions League, or as in UEFA Europa League, or as in Europa Conference come next season. Looking at the fixtures to be played tomorrow, only we having one game to be played tomorrow, with Genoa having a game up against Atalanta. And then looking at the games to be played in French League 1. French League 1 is also climaxing tomorrow, with all the games set to commence at 10 p.m. with Lens having a game with Monaco. Meanwhile, for Reims will travel away to Lille. Olympique Lyon is having a date with Angers. Rennes will travel away to Marseille, with Nantes having a game with already relegated Montpellier. Meanwhile, Brest will travel away to Nice. Paris Saint-Germain will have to sit at Principality past the Parc des Princes as they welcome Auxerre. For Toulouse, they will travel away to Saint-Etienne, and the last game is between Strasbourg up against Le Havre. And looking at how the race is also going in French League 1, the winners already declared the champions, that's Paris Saint-Germain, but the race for that's UEFA Europa League and Europa Conference still continues amid these teams like AS Monaco, teams like Nice, you talk about teams like Olympique de Marseille, Olympique Lyon, not forgetting about Strasbourg. And in also FA Cup, final is tomorrow, 6:30 is when Manchester City will be playing Crystal Palace, and this game will be at Wembley. The last time Crystal Palace appeared in the finals of FA Cup, if I can remember, was way back in 2016 when they lost the encounter into the hands of Manchester United. By then, again, they are facing another team from the city of Manchester. So we are waiting to see how this game, of course, will end tomorrow. And coming to the games to be played on Sunday, Atletico Madrid is having a game at Real Betis. All the games actually in Spanish Primera Division on Sunday, they are starting at 8 p.m. with Atletico Madrid sitting at Venda Metropolitan as they welcome Real Betis. Villarreal will travel away to Barcelona, with Celta Vigo having a game up against Rayo Vallecano. Meanwhile, for Leganés, they will have to travel to Las Palmas. For Real Mallorca, they will have to test the hostility of Getafe. For Espanyol Barcelona, they will have to leave the camp of Barcelona as they travel Catalonia as they travel to Osasuna, with the Real Sociedad having a date up against Girona. Meanwhile, for Deportivo Alaves, they will travel away to Real Valladolid. Sevilla is ready to host Real Madrid at home, with Athletic Bilbao traveling away to Mestalla as they take on Valencia. Looking at how tight the race is in Spanish Primera Division, yes, Barcelona just needs a win against Villarreal to be crowned as the champions. I'm trying to say here, a win against Villarreal on Sunday for the team of Barcelona will see them as the champions in Spanish Primera Division for the second successful season. Last season, they were the champions, winning it under Xavi, and this time, in case it happens, it will be under the stewardship of a new coach in the names of Hans Flick. For Atletico Madrid, they are already safe when it comes to finishing in UEFA Champions League. They are safe. Real Madrid is also safe, but the top five, the race for number 3 and the number 5, the race for number 4 and the number 5 still continues. Amid these teams like Real Betis, Athletic Bilbao, you mentioned teams like Real Sociedad, Villarreal, so they are still battling to see that they finish. That's why the game between Barcelona and the team of Villarreal is going to be interesting, because Barcelona, they will want to beat Villarreal to see that they are crowned as the champions. Meanwhile, for Villarreal, because of the pressure from the other teams like Real Betis, they will want to win the game against Barcelona to see that they also keep it alive as far as fighting for top 5 is concerned. So it's going to be an interesting game. What I want to say is, this is a game, expect high-flying goals in this encounter, because we have ever seen Barcelona with the Villarreal ending 4-4, 3-3, actually 4-5-4. I should say this is one of the interesting fixtures when it comes to Spanish Primera Division. Not even Real Madrid up against Barcelona, but whenever you see a game between Barcelona and the Villarreal, just know that it's going to be an interesting fixture. It reminds me of when Santi Cazorla was still active for Villarreal. They used to design this particular fixture. So we are waiting to see. In Italian Serie A, Cagliari, of course, will have a date with all the games on Sunday in Italian Serie A are set to commence at a quarter to the hour of 10 p.m. So Venezia will travel to Cagliari, with Bologna traveling away to Fiorentina. Meanwhile, Hellas Verona will stay at home and they will say hi to Fabregas' team called Como. For Lazio Roma, they will have a very big encounter up against Inter Milan. For Juventus, they will have to test the hostility of Udinese. Meanwhile, for Lecce, they are sitting at home as they welcome Empoli, with Napoli traveling away to Parma. AS Roma, of course, will entertain thus AC Milan. In English Premier League, Everton at exactly 2 p.m. will be welcoming Southampton at Goodson Park. For Nottingham Forest, they will have to fight to see that they keep their hopes of finishing in top 5 alive as they travel away to West Ham. And this game will be at a quarter past the hour of 4 p.m. At 5 p.m. exactly is when Fulham will be leaving Craven Cottage as they travel away to Bees to take on Brentford. For Leicester City, already relegated teams battling it between themselves. Ipswich up against Leicester City. They have nothing to fight for, but meanwhile, the last game to be played on Sunday is actually also a cracker between Newcastle and Arsenal. This is one of the games which is going to determine the fate of which position to finish for the two teams. Newcastle will be traveling to Emirates. Right now, Newcastle is having 66 points. Arsenal is having 68 points. A win for Newcastle up against Arsenal will take them ahead of Arsenal by a point, as they will go to 69 points. But a win for Arsenal up against Newcastle automatic will make Arsenal to still remain in the second position. So these are the games to be played. I don't want to leave before I give you what continues to transpire in the world of transfers, because I feel that is the most interesting part at the moment, because very soon the seasons are coming to an end, and it will be very ironical if I leave the studios minus giving to the soccer fans what continues to transpire in the world of transfers. I know so many teams, they are preparing to reorganize. They are preparing to reorganize their team, signing players and also coaches. Remember, transfer is not only for the players. Coaches are also moving. So you may want to know which coach is going where, which club is signing which coach. So let's start from that's Manchester City. The club have met with Bayer Leverkusen forward, that's Florian Wirtz, 22 years of age, over a potential summer move, and this has been reported by a paper called German. So Manchester City, they are very much interested in the signature of Florian Wirtz. So it depends on how you want to call, cause players that are from Germany, players that are from Greece, players that are from Netherlands, they have technical, botanical names. So it will depend on how you want to, but the player is not called Wirtz, but it's called Wirtz. That's Florian Wirtz for you. So taking a look at the other trending transfer rumors here, Newcastle have scouted Borussia Dortmund's 20-year-old English winger Jamie Gittens and could also make a summer move for his teammate, Switzerland goalkeeper, that's Gregor Kobel, 27 years of age, and this has been reported by Daily Mail. That means Newcastle, they are actually eyeing 2 players from St. James Park. Meanwhile, for the team of Fulham, their midfielder Tony Kane, 34 years of age, is a target for championship-bound Wrexham, with the former Scotland international said to be offered a deal worth £50 per week when he leaves Cottagers on a free transfer. And this has been reported by TalkSport. And moving to Anfield, Liverpool are expecting Florian Wirtz to stay at Bayer Leverkusen or else join Bayern Munich, but will make an approach if the 22-year-old German attacking midfielder wants to leave the German Bundesliga outfit. And this has been reported by a paper called Times. And veteran English forward Jamie Vardy will leave Leicester City this summer, but the 38-year-old has no intention to retire and believes he could still play in the Premier League. And this has been reported by Sky Sports. Fresh talks between Bayern Munich and their 26-year-old France defender Dayot Upamecano have begun over a new deal until 2030, and this has been reported by one of the famous papers in German called Sky German. Lazio will pay Arsenal a fee worth 9 million euros, that's equivalent to £7.57 million to sign 25-year-old Portuguese left-back Nuno Tavares in a loan deal with an obligation to buy. And this has been reported by transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Once he is the one behind, just know that something fruitful is happening. I'm talking about the man in the names of Fabrizio Romano, the Italian. For Manchester United, the club and Denmark striker Rasmus Højlund, 22 years of age, faces an uncertain future at Old Trafford with boss Ruben Amorim having to sell players before he can buy another striker this summer. So that is the latest update coming from the Theatre of Dreams. At Vitality, Bournemouth have set a 45 million euros price tag for their 21-year-old Hungary left-back Milos Kerkez, who is wanted by Liverpool. Meanwhile, Arsenal's search for a striker is focused on either RB Leipzig and Slovenia's Benjamin Sesko, 21, or Sporting Lisbon's 26-year-old Sweden international Victor Gyökeres, and this has been reported by Independente. With that, I should say we are closing the chapter until we link up again tomorrow for Saturday, or as general weekend edition of Whistle Time at Western Television. It has been me, Oracle Benson Pastore, in front of the lens to break what continues to transpire in the world of sports. Have the best of your times. We'll link up again tomorrow, and the game between Manchester United up against Chelsea, Spurs up against Aston Villa. Very interesting fixtures. Don't miss the 2 encounters tonight.
Where they did actually play very well and only 10 minutes away from lifting the trophy. The game midweek against Inter was obviously a very demanding game physically and mentally for the players of Barcelona. Certainly, he'll play.